Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. Today we are going to be taking things nice and easy. I have had a very busy week and there's things that I want to get done in this area, and I've actually got a lot of time to do them, which is cool, because one of the things I wanted to do this episode is take my time with what I'm doing, try and do things right rather than try to get a lot done, which will all make sense in a moment. I'm going to explain what it is I want to do this episode, but first of all I would like to take a little trip over to Biffa's. This is Biffa's area over here. As soon as I saw this, I just loved it straight away. I think it looks ever so good and I wanted to share it with you guys. I don't know if he's actually shown this in a video yet, so I'm sorry if I've spoiled it for some of you, but this is awesome, I have to share. So the entrance is great, and when we go inside, that just has a real nice look about it. Now what he's done here is he's preserved all of the original mountain, I think. He hasn't really taken away from much of the original shape. I also think he's removed things like gravel and coal and iron and just replaced them with smooth stone, so you got a lot of the same colour here. But the thing that does it for me in this room, obviously the floor is lovely, but the support beams on either side, they come in really nice, and yeah, I just really like this. It's going to be interesting to see what he does here, how much of the walls he's going to change. I don't know what his plans are, but yeah. I don't know, I just felt like showing it. It looks really cool. And obviously he's used stained glass around the outside. There's white on the side and blue up the top. And if we just throw one of these up here, I think it almost went straight over the other side. I thought that's what it was going to do for a second there. Yeah, so we've got blue up the top here, which looks really nice. And look how it looks when they kind of overlap like that. It gets quite colourful, doesn't it? Yeah, the colour gets strong, which makes a lot of sense because it's transparent, and when it adds up, yeah, I'm going to stop talking. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, what are we going to be doing this episode? Well, there's a few things I need to do in this area. I need to finish doing the path. There's also a little area where the portal is that needs to get pushed back, and I think Spunwhack, I'm pretty sure it's Spunwhack, has started building at the back there, so when all of this gets pushed back, the portal is going to be lower down, and I think it's going to be kind of under his base, so I'll have to talk to him about that. Maybe he wants to incorporate it, because his base looks like it's this part here, and the portal's going to be somewhere around where I'm standing now, but a few blocks lower, so maybe it could go even further backwards and kind of underneath his base. So I don't know, I just see an opportunity there for something interesting, you know, like we could use this area under his base to create like an area with some chests and materials and other things to go alongside the nether portal, but we'll have to talk about that with him another day, because I don't think he's around at the moment. It's UK time, so it's early morning and the Americans are all still asleep. But anyway, this base right here, there is a problem with it. As I mentioned last episode, this was made by Kivan, and when I copied it out of the creative world from the server, it removes all of the paintings and item frames, so there's actually a lot more things inside of here that I need to add. So that's one of the things I want to do. I also want to kind of try and change it up a little bit and try and put my own touch on this, although I'm not really too good with the kind of modern interiors, but that's something that we need to do in there. And also around the outside, I want to finish doing the front area here. There was some lighting that I wanted to put in. And around the back, I did talk about this. I can't remember if I actually showed it last episode. But I wanted to put a little water offshoot over here. And I've done that. And it kind of looks ugly, I think. You can't really see it from this side. Let's go over to that bit there. In fact, let's hop on top of that tree. Now, it doesn't look that great, does it? It kind of just... I don't really know what are the right words to describe that. But I think I know how to fix it. So the problem I think here, and what makes it look ugly, is that the water pops out from the wall too early. On each one of these, you can see where it comes out, it just doesn't look right. And so what I think it needs to do is it needs to come down further, and it needs to be less visible, so at the moment the edges of the water are coming over the edge of these blocks. So if they were one block lower down, then you wouldn't see that, but then you'd see more of the dirt on the other side. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, but I think we can do it, and I just want to make that look right, because with this house, there's a lot of detail on it, you know, with the bushes, and the shape of the house is really stunning, and I kind of want to make everything around it, you know, even when it's minute details like this, I want to make it all add up. So that's one thing that I want to do right there. Let's throw an ender pearl and go back over. Now, I don't want to take up too much space around the house because it's already quite wide, but I was looking at this area back here. It's just stone, it's not very interesting, and so I thought what we could do is we've got this gravel path here, and it could lead into a couple of gardens. So I was thinking these gardens could be like box gardens. We could have some stone bricks at this height down here. In fact, I've got some on me. So I don't think I'm going to keep them in this exact location, but some stone bricks there. In fact, I think that should start maybe over here, and then it can kind of overhang. This could look really nice actually. Let's just place a few blocks like this. So yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to have a box garden that kind of overhangs a little bit, so we get this effect again on this side, but it's also a little bit lower down, and then that'll lead into another box garden that's over here that is yet again a little bit lower down. So this one can come across like this, and then come back this way, and then it's kind of like a step down garden effect, and we'll have the gravel path go through the middle of all of it, which I think could look really cool. And what I'm going to put in the gardens, I do not know at the moment, but I'm going to put a tree in here somewhere, that's for sure. I've been watching getting tongue-tied here. I've been watching Kevan do his building on the server, and he likes to put in trees everywhere. And do you know what? They make so much difference having a tree nearby. So I think what we need is a tree that comes up from behind and just hangs over this area here. Because if you look at it, everything's got bushes in front. Then there's bushes on the top and around the side as well. And then this bit right here, it doesn't have a lot of wildlife going on. So I think having a tree come up the back and sort of hang down over this area could look really good. And I never build trees, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm obviously going to be looking at what he's built and trying to do something similar, but I kind of want to do my own thing. So what I was talking about earlier with taking my time this episode, I have a fair bit of time to record this one, and what I'd usually do is try and make as much progress as I could in that episode, but this time I feel like what I should do is focus on making the things that I'm doing look really good, because this is all about aesthetics right here, and I want to take the time to really make it work. So I'm not going to rush myself. I'm going to start off by doing the inside of this building and see what I can change it to. So it turns out that I actually only missed a couple of things. When I got my message from Kevan, I thought that there were quite a few things to put inside of here, and I should have picked up that hopper. I don't know why it's now over there. The server has been a little odd today. It's been kicking Mumbo, who's was online. He's gone offline. I must have missed that. But it seems to be okay at the moment. Anyway, I put in a bookshelf here. Not sure if it really fits in, but I thought there has to be a bookshelf somewhere. You always need that in a home. And so this is one of the things that I missed. That's a quartz block on its side with a button on the wall. And I mean, that's self-explanatory. That looks exactly like toilet paper, which I think is really cool. So that's the detail that we added in this room. Also, I changed this block so we can have that for the sink. And then upstairs there is, yep, the cocoa beans on this bit over here, so it looks like a coffee machine. And then there's one more thing. I put the picture there on the wall, and this next to it, which I think is supposed to represent a computer tower. And if it does, I think that does a pretty good job compared to what's available in Minecraft. But anyway, that is the interiors. I thought there was more to do really, but that's about it. And if we go outside, I've started working on the water and the square gardens that I talked about. Now, I've spent quite a bit of time doing this. Like I said, I want to spend more time getting the details right with this area, and I think it's been worthwhile. Now, there's one thing that I've noticed is someone's gone and put sugarcane all the way down the bottom here, and potatoes and wheat, which kind of looks ugly, I think. And so I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be temporary, and that'll be gone before long. But I might remove some more of it around this bit because it's what we're working on. But let's step back and have a look. I think that looks really nice now. So you can see, like I talked about, we've got the water going all the way down to the bottom. It doesn't come out in front, and when it goes down here, it's a lot lower down. And in places, you know, like over here, I've made it a little bit different just so it's varied, but it looks much nicer. It looks like the water's been flowing for some time and digged its way into the hill. And I like the way the sections here are carved off. Now, what I'm thinking is I might remove that block there and that one, and then you won't be able to get from here onto the top bit. And I'm thinking about mobs because I think it looks nice when it's dark, and when you put torches around, it doesn't look so great. And then if you were to put bushes down on there, now that I say it, actually I think bushes could look really nice. We could put a couple of bush patches in the middle, have some glowstone underneath, and then have it dangle down to the bottom here. That is something I'm about to try in a minute. So the next thing for me to do, and before I thought of doing that, was to work on these garden bits here. There's not really going to be too much other than some bushes on the ground, a couple of trees, and some gravel pathways. And I was thinking maybe a melon patch or a pumpkin patch. But now that I look at this, I've actually made this a lot smaller than I thought. It's really not that much space at all to work with. So I think I'm going to make this one bigger. And I want to have another one as well. I want to have one that goes down one step. And you can see we're kind of level with this area here. So if we're going to do that, we need to do some terraforming. We need to change the side of this so that it exposes the wall on this side, so you can kind of see how it goes down step by step. And I mentioned it earlier, there's some terraforming that I need to do over here. So if you have a look where all these torches have been spammed, that's the kind of area that I need to remove all of this so it goes back a bit. And the reason for that is just because you have a flat bit of land on this side, and you've got, well, you don't have quite as much flat land over here, but you've got this space here, and we want everything to be connected to the path. So if we just move all of that land and push the portal back, then we can kind of flatten out this area a little bit as well. And we're not looking to do a lot, you know, we don't want to flatten the whole thing, we're just trying to make the space back here a little bit bigger. So I was looking at this that I'm standing on right now. You can see it kind of comes around to the edge here, so actually we could probably remove all of this. That would contribute to having some flat land for people to build on, and also it means I can work around with the back of this, because when this is out of the way, it's going to make it easier to kind of lower the land just around here, which means we're going to have enough space to add another one of these. And I think I might make that one quite big now, because these ones aren't really big enough. Yeah, so anyway, I've got that to do. I'm going to do some of that terraforming, and also I'm going to put some bushes down on this. Okay, I'm going to log back in, and I think I'm going to be dead. I think the strangest death ever just occurred, and I'm really curious. Yeah, okay, so let me explain what happened. The server's been terrible, by the way. I've been trying to make progress, and it's just, I have to wait like 5 minutes for a chest to open, things like that. So I came over here, and I tried to go through the portal, and then I took a bit of damage. And let's just kill this guy first, because he's going to be distracting the hell out of me. And yes, I'm recording on Halloween. As you know, I always record a couple of days in advance, just so I can make sure you guys get the video on the day that it's supposed to come out. So let's just put that on and pick up these items. So I was standing over here. Oh, I really wish I was recording this. It was so cool thinking about it. I was trying to go through the portal, and then I took a bit of damage. I looked around and thought, why has that happened? So I stepped back in the portal, and then all of a sudden I get hit out and I fly over in this direction. And then I keep getting hit, and I watch my hearts go down really quickly, and it actually threw me all the way over here. I'm not even kidding. When I died and logged out, I was somewhere around here. And I don't see any items. In fact, I didn't have a lot of items on me because I was going to go back to my base and get some other things. But yeah, there you go. Oh, it's just so crazy. It was like the damage was sent to me all at once, and the knockback, I guess, was calculated all at once as well, because there's lots of lag between the server and the client. So because of that, it made me go flying over in that direction. It was really crazy. And yeah, as I said, the connection has been awful all day. Had to keep restarting the server, logging out, logging back in. Anyway, we'll get on with things once I get some more materials. So, have a look at that. It doesn't look that great, actually. And it's the middle of the day. At night time it looks a little bit better because you have some lighting contrast. But I think the... Oh, I've already got my ender pearls. Yeah, I think the problem here is the colours. So, have a look at that. A lot of green, a lot of brown, and some blue to break it up. But then if we look upwards a little bit, it kind of looks better naturally just by having the house in shot. And that's because there's more colour going on. At least that's how I look at this. And so what I think we need to do with all of this is have maybe a few less bushes, but also some stone in the dirt. And I think I've only got 7 stone at the moment. I need to smelt up some more. And as well as that, just the occasional something different to look at. So I reckon if we go over here and just plop down one of those there, and also I want to remove a few bits of this grass. I've got quite a lot of it down below, which I think looks nicer when it's nearer to water. So we're going to get rid of a few bits like that here and there. And then let's add a rose bush. Actually, I think I wanted to keep that there. Let's add a rose bush there. That's quite bold and striking compared to the other one. I think we'll have another one of these over on this side, and I'm just failing to navigate at the moment. Let's move back around here. It's kind of awkward moving around this, actually. And let's go for right there. So, let's end up old back and have a look. And that looks a little bit better, I gotta say, just having those extra colours in there, but I think there's something missing here. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I'll keep looking at that and trying to figure out what's going on. And if we hop up here, I need to... Oh, I'm falling down again. That seems to be the story of working around here, constantly trying to climb and falling down. If we go and have a look at this, I don't think I started off doing this right. These squares are a little bit too small, so when we add things to it, there's not a lot of space to add a lot. So I thought, we'll add an extra one down here at this height, which means I had to do a bit more terraforming, and we'll make it bigger as well. So this one is the biggest of all. But if you have a look, where to have a look from? Well, just having a look in general at it, it's lower down, and so all of this land around here should be at this height, so it kind of slopes down into this area, which I don't think looks so good, and I kind of wanted this effect where wherever this was you would see the walls because everything around it was lower, if that's making much sense. So I might expand this over this way a little bit, but what I did to compensate for that was have another level here with a little patch, and then have the wall slope down like that on one side, and then cut it off back here. And it kind of works. I'm not sure. But it's certainly going to look a lot better when it's got more things going on inside it. And I think what I want to do first of all is just move this wall over a couple of blocks in that direction so it's a little bit bigger. I think that speaks for itself, doesn't it? Let's kill him. Ah. So, I think I've got it now. Let's turn around and have a look. Look at that right there. That looks really cool. What did I do? There's quite a few changes that I made there. I think the main difference here was the reeds. That brings in quite a bright colour. And I've got to say, the new reeds, they do look very nice. And there is one more thing that I want to add here, which is possibly a tree. I'm not 100% sure about that, but adding in those reeds kind of finished it off for me. And there are a few other minor changes that I've made as well. So look where the cursor is pointing. There's some stone next to the water. I just added that in a few places. And it's just tiny little details like that that I think add up. Another one would be mossy cobblestone and cracked cobblestone. I was about to say, did you notice that? But you can see I'm holding it in my hand, so that kind of gave it away. But there's just a few cracked cobblestone around the place and mossy next to water. And it really does just kind of break up the constant grey coming from those bricks and just adds a little extra, which I think looks good. Now there is another change that I've made as well. You can barely see it. I've added some lights down the bottom of the water. Not really sure they make a difference. The closer to the water you are, you kind of notice them, but it just adds more light, I guess, so I like it. It looks cool. Yeah, so let's go up here. I've moved back this by 2 blocks, and I think I'm going to settle on that. So I decided the next thing to do was to build this tree that I've been talking about, and then work on the garden area down here. And I've got to say, this looks almost good. I'm really not sure. It kind of looks a little bit awkward as well. Now, some of the things that don't make it look good is like where the leaves come out the side here, in my opinion, but then again, having them all go straight down could look not that great either. I don't know. This isn't my kind of territory, this sort of stuff. And what I did is I went onto my server, I had a look at one of the trees that Kevan had built, and this is very much in the, well, it is the same style. And I thought, right, I'm not going to try and copy it exactly. I'm going to take one look at it, come back here and build it. And do you know what? I think I did pretty good. The mistake that I made here is the middle bit. I think this is too many blocks. It needs to be about 2 blocks lower overall, but I think I'm going to keep that for now. The base looks nice with a few logs rotated in different directions and the bushes as well. And let's go and have a look at it from over here. I haven't seen it from that far away yet. And again, it looks quite big, but maybe it won't look so bad when there's lots of other things going on in the gardens around them. But that's not bad at all. I like that. I think that's a good start for building trees. And maybe we'll put one in another location as well, because if we go and look at it from this side, I got to get rid of those blocks on the side there. The way they stick out kind of annoys me. From here it doesn't really add much, so if we were to add another tree, I think maybe on the side here, although this is supposed to be the edge of my plot, so yeah, I'm not sure where exactly I'll put another tree. Maybe we'll just have the one for now, and I'll see what you guys think of it, because this is totally out of my territory, this sort of stuff. I don't need those ones. I just want to change this quickly before I cut, because it is annoying me so much. Right, let's get rid of those 2. No, come on. Something. I shouldn't be trying to break it with my sword. Ah, I'm failing to break leaves now. Okay, there we go. Oh, and now I can't hop over a wall. I'll tell you what, it's just been one of those days with climbing around the terrain and trying to do stuff, having the lag on the server. It's been really annoying. Yeah, that looks much better. I think we need to remove that block up the top there as well. But that's enough with the tree. When we come back and look at this again, I reckon I would have finished the gardens around here. But what we need to do right now is actually head back over to the wastelands, because Red Eyes is interested in some of my villages. So I said I'd help him out, and he can, yeah, take some of them back to his base. I'll get another one out. Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
man,
no,
I gotta
idiot,
see
I'm an
this. I
idiot.
know he's gonna escape.
He's escaping.
Oh,
No,
I missed it.
no, how
I
are you
see that
doing this?
coming a mile
No,
off.
stop! Oh, where are you going? Oh.
No.
He tried to walk down. Don't walk down the hole. Oh, there's no hole there now, is
Oh, we
there?
got a
Oh, we got a pig, man. Ah.
Okay, you escape. Right.
When he comes out of there, no, how
Now
did he
what?
do that? He goes
How did
onto
he
the
do
half
that?
slab. Yeah, I didn't think he could do that. Come on. Ah, do you want to nudge?
Okay, he's locked in there.
Yeah, now he's going to get in the cart and suffocate into the wall. I can see it.
That's all right.
Oh
then.
no 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 no!
Okay.
Oh, you need a health potion for him. Wait, why is he taking
Oh no, he's
damage now?
dying on the other side.
Okay, he went through. That guy's not doing good.
Which was this guy?
Wait,
This guy
what was that red? Oh, that's
This
your
is the
eyes.
white coat. Okay, he's gonna have to keep my eye on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck that dirt down.
Wait. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So I do believe the garden is now finished. Let's go and have a look around at all the different things. It's mainly just these types of flowers. So you can see there's a couple of them over here. Some bushes and long grass. In fact, the long grass I think really makes a big difference here. I really do like that. But yeah, the path goes around the corner here. It's very simple stuff, just some flowers down, some sugar cane here. This bit here at the back here is 4 tall. I made it like that just because. And an idea that I had actually with the sugar cane, I think you can put string on top of them and that will suppress them growing. And I've also put string down the back here just to stop these pumpkins from growing, just so, I don't know, I placed down all the pumpkins first of all and it didn't look so good having all of them grown in a row. And you kind of want this thing to look like it's in use, so having all of them in a row looks like no one's harvested them for a while. So yeah, little detail like that I think makes a difference. There's also a pumpkin patch right here. I modified the tree slightly. You might be able to see some of the changes that I made, mainly adding more leaves underneath, and it looks a little bit better now. But the one thing we need to do is go and have a look at this from the distance. So before we do that, I've also got some plant pots along the edge here. And I borrowed those from Biffa as well. I've been making so many trips back and forth that I was like, right, they're just sitting in Biffa's chest. I'm going to borrow them. I'm going to let him know. And later on when I come back here, I will bring some back for him. That is always nice to have people around like Biffa who'll know, he'll know what it's like. Oh, and now we've fallen down. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, let's hop on top of this tree. That looks lovely. Oh yes, the bottom bit down here, I can't remember if I actually made any changes to that. And I still think it needs a little work. I still think it's missing something. But having these extra colours at the top and the tree, that looks absolutely wonderful, I think. Now, if I were to rate this myself, I'd give this 7 out of 10. But the thing is, I'm really excited with all of this because I'm stepping into a new territory. I'm doing something that I've always wanted to do, the kind of natural building and gardens and stuff. And so it's easy for me to look at it in a bit of a different light. So I want you guys to leave a rating out of 10 in the comments. What do you think this looks like? And I guess the 10 would be something to compare it to, right? So I don't have anything to hand, so whatever you think a 10 would be, compare it to this and give me an idea of what I'm doing here. And I don't mind if some of you think this is, you know, a 1 or a 0 even. It'll give me a good idea if I go and look at all the comments and see how I'm doing. I still want to make some changes like I said, but this is the kind of stuff I'm into at the moment. I really like these aesthetic build types with the modern houses and gardens, and I want to get good at it. So if you guys can give me a rating, then I can look at that and have a good idea if whether I'm looking at this and I'm excited that I've done it and actually it looks pants, or if it's good. But anyway, the last thing that we need to do today, and it's a good thing I didn't thaw on top of these again, it's annoying replanting them. The last thing that I need to do is dig back this area here. We're going to move the portal so it's closer to Spunwax building, and he was on a moment ago. I had the opportunity to speak to him, and I let him know that this stuff here was going to be pushed back so we can have extra plots on either side, and he's cool with that. And they even talked about maybe the two of us doing something together and building a portal room under his base, but I'm not going to do that today. Of course, I'm just going to dig all of this back and put the portals somewhere around where I'm standing now, but it'll probably be down by a few blocks. Well, at last everything is done that I wanted to do. Let's have a look around here. You can see I flattened this out, and you can see where I put all the dirt down because it hasn't grown into grass yet, and that looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty natural, and you know what, I think it might get dug back a little bit further at some point when we need to build something for this portal. But there you go, it means that someone can build in this little space over here and this area here as well. And so that was always the idea, really. You've got this mound that kind of sticks out and you've got flat bits on either side, so just removing that gives quite an extra bit of space. And I also put this beacon here, by the way. The beacon is the one from my base. I went back and got that and put that down, and I also picked up some iron from the iron, I was about to say trench, it's just a regular iron farm back at spawn, so I thought I'd put that there. Probably going to be useful for people who are still setting up in this area. And I also tidied up the front of this at last. I got rid of those torches and I put some glowstone behind green stained clay. And if you have a look there, the glowstone is actually 2 blocks back, and what I wanted to do is test the light level, but it is daytime. I guess I could do that in a moment. I get the feeling that transparent glass lowers the light level. That's something that I need to test. But the last thing that I'm going to do is actually go over to Biffers and leave him a little present, although I don't have a chest to put it in. But I was borrowing a couple of things from him, some of the flowers and some of his bone meal and clay, because I wasn't prepared. So when I went back to get the beacon, I also got a stack of clay, stack of bones and a stack of glowstone for Biffer. So I'm going to leave that here for him, and that is it for this episode, I guess. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.